Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Great Black North. I am your favorite author, Robert Mulolo.
I am Devin M.D. Jones.
And I am Simon. I don't have a name this week, Martin.
And we have a special guest with us today, all the way from Toulouse, France. We have my bestie, Naomi. Hi, Naomi.
Hi, everybody. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yay!
All right, welcome, Naomi.
People are like, why, if she's from France, how are you the Great Black North and Canada? Well, when we grew up together, we're both from Winnipeg, so she is representing Canada, even though she lives in France now.
And France is still the Northern Hemisphere, so...
It's true. It's true. It doesn't get as cold, but definitely just as north.
Devin's giving me side-eye for that one.
I know, I was like... Still not Canada.
All right.
Sorry, Robert.
No, I'm just saying, today we have a great episode. The name of the episode is Sorry.
We got him speaking French, so, you know.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. I started speaking French earlier, so now I'm just like confusing certain words. All right, we have Great Expectation. That's the name of the episode, Great Expectation.
Yay!
So why don't you start us off, Devin?
We're kind of having a little bit of the battle of the sexes a little bit, you know? So what are the expectations that you have? Some of them, I think most of us know our expectations, even though we may be in a denial about them a little bit sometimes. And so what are your expectations of the person that you are dating when you first start dating them? Like, I think we talked about deal breakers in a previous episode, but like these deal breakers come from somewhere, right? Yeah. So for me, I'll start it. For expectations, I always say, so you get that question, right? When you first meet someone and they're just kind of like, what do you want in a man? And I'm just kind of like, things that I've learned about myself is that I need somebody who's reliable. I need someone who's stable, and stable doesn't mean like has a corporate 9-to-5 job. I mean stable in your life, like you're not like all over the place and confused all the time, and attractive to me. Those are like literally my 3 qualities that I look for. But my expectations are a little bit different. My expectations would be like, I need that person to expect that I'm going to need a lot of time. I'm not a materialistic person, but I do expect to spend a lot of time with that person. That's what's really important to me. They have this quiz called the 5 Love Languages. And whenever I do that, I always do quality time is my number 1. And number 2 is acts of service. So someone that kind of takes the load off, because I have a really busy lifestyle and schedule. I got a lot of things going on. And someone who just does nice things without me having to ask them. So those, I think, are my expectations. Who's next?
I'll take the reign, man. I'll do it. All right. You know what? I actually did the 5 love languages quiz, and mine were physical touch and words of affirmation. Mm-hmm. So yeah, those are basically some things that, I definitely want my partner to be. I always say this, I always want somebody who's sexually compatible with me, because that's something that's important for me. But also, I find that I like to hear certain things about. I like to be reassured about myself, about the things that I do as well and everything. Because a lot of times I always question, even when I go in the right direction, I always question what it is that I'm doing. So I actually appreciate that when someone actually, provides me with those words of affirmation. I enjoy conversations. I enjoy conversations with the person I'm with. I do remember this girlfriend of mine I call her the best girlfriend I've ever had, and it was always we had these conversations all the time, and if it was not about work, if it was not about if it was not about family, we even talk about pop culture and everything. We touch on every topics and share even articles with each other and just have conversations also throughout the day on WhatsApp. So yeah, those are things I definitely look for.
Cool. Naomi?
Who's next?
It's interesting listening to this because I think I never actually thought about what I expect. I kind of was always what you were saying, Devin, before in terms of like, okay, what's the categories of things that I'm looking for in a guy? I'm not sure I ever really got into the expectations. And then when I started thinking about that recently, it actually changed completely what I was looking for. And it's really important to me to have that person that I view as a partner that I can share ideas with and share feelings with and just wind down at the end of the day. I kind of resonated with what you said about, taking a load off. Like my days are really busy and really hectic, and I like to have someone that can kind of create that safe space for me without having it feel like a burden. I think lots of my previous experiences it's been a burden to people, and which is what I realized that it doesn't have to be like that. And for me, it's just having that connection intellectually and emotionally, which I find to be very hard to find, just having people that you can really share ideas with and that it's not, lots of people get stressed out by debate and get stressed out by, having heated conversation. And I always like the fact that you can have heated conversation, still respect each other and love each other and move forward, even if you don't necessarily agree. So that's kind of my expectation now, to have somebody who's mature and strong enough in their own views that we can have that kind of conversation without it being a threat to them in some sort of way.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Simone, Jack, but really Simon.
My big one is respect. To me, it doesn't matter. Like my expectations just kind of lie with that. Another thing is I don't like vulgarity. Like in terms of a girl that sits and eats and talks while she's eating or chews with her mouth open. I don't know, like things like that kind of just rub me the wrong way. And I know that's not like, to me, that's like the me nitpicking and me being very kind of, particular, but that's one big thing. But to me, the utmost thing is respect. Like if you, like talk over me when I'm trying to talk, it's like, it's a huge no-no for me. But to be honest, like kind of like Naomi, I haven't really thought about it. And as everybody was talking, I was trying to think of things, and I'm like, I don't really know, to be honest. Yeah.
Interesting.
Can I add on to mine? Just
No.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Robert, why do you ask questions? Like, you know that it's me and Simon all the time.
Yes, exactly. I do. Whatever. But anyways, I will say this, like, I do want, like, another expectation. I actually want somebody who I'm attracted to as well. Like, I want somebody who's physically take care of themselves and all that, and someone who can be unpredictable sometimes. And funny enough, I actually want a little bit of vulgarity in my role.
Yay, vulgarity!
Vulgarity. I'm not gonna lie.
Perfect.
It's the whole attractive thing, to me, that's automatic. Like that's gonna have to be there, because I think that goes without saying, because I'm not gonna be dating somebody I'm not attracted to. It's just not gonna happen. Yeah. Right? So that's why I'm not even gonna list that. But in terms of like a dirty joke here and there, great, a couple curse words here and there, whatever. But like if a girl's like every other word out of her mouth is like, F this, F that, whatever. Nah, it's like I'm just not the type of person for me.
Okay, let me ask. Robert's like, Devin's gonna say something. Okay, so I curse.
Yeah. I love Devin.
Is that too much?
I love Devin.
For me, in our interactions, like, you know where and when it's appropriate. Like, I'm not somebody that sits there and is like never curse. Like, that's not me, right? But at the same time, I'm sitting there like, I mean, I listen to a lot of hip hop, right? But actually, a lot of the hip hop that I listen to tends to be a lot of underground hip hop with no cursing. But some of the stuff that I used to listen to and still sometimes listen to has cursing in it. And, you know, I see movies with cursing and stuff like that. So it's not like something that like outright bothers me. But, you know, when I'm sitting down with my friends and my family and so whatever, I generally don't really like to hear it that much.
I get that. Like, my family, nobody in my family curses. Like, my parents don't, my siblings don't really. Not much. My siblings a little bit, but not much. And so I can turn it on and off depending on who's I'm around. Like, there's certain people, like if it's me and Naomi talking, I'll be dropping F-bombs because I know it's not a big deal. But like one of my other girlfriends, she doesn't curse at all, well, she does, but every once in a while, and she doesn't. I feel like it would bother her, so I automatically just turn it off. Like, unless I'm like agitated or like going off on something, then I'm gonna be like, there's gonna be a lot of cursing. Like, I give her a precursor. I was like, no pun intended. That I was like, there's gonna be a lot of cursing right now, and go. And then I'll tell her. So, question to the fellas. What is your sexual expectation? Since Robert brought up that the sexual attraction is very important. Do you have sexual expectations?
Definitely, most definitely. I expect that if we're, for example, if we're with family or something like that, and in the meantime I'm getting like dirty text messages from her, something like that. I would want that. I would want her to even, like, you know, try to actually whisk me away and just be like, let's go for a quickie type thing. Like, I mean, like be daring, that type of thing. Like, you know, just those are the type of things I'm expecting.
Simone?
You know what? Like, honestly, again, like, something I haven't really thought that hard about. So to me, it's like, it's kind of normal. It's kind of just basic. It's like, I mean, I'm the kind of guy that, like, you know, I'm never gonna force myself on anybody or whatever, or try to go further than anywhere she wants to go. So to be honest, like, my expectations are to treat people the way that I want to be treated too. So, like, you know, not really, you know, when the time comes, the time comes, but not really going to be pushing or anything.
And to the ladies, myself included, Naomi, do you have sexual expectations?
I would say yes, yeah. It's something that's, well, it's pretty important, and I feel like it's a big part of the attraction in terms of the chemistry that you have, and it's something about that intimacy that you can share with somebody, and it feels different when you have a strong sexual connection with someone versus someone that it's kind of like, meh. It does take a relationship to a whole different level, I find. So I've had both. I definitely prefer it, though, when you have that intense kind of thing with somebody. It's pretty cool. And in terms of timing, it doesn't need to be right away or anything, but just to have that sort of connection, it brings everything kind of up a notch in terms of intensity, and definitely in terms of the intensity you can share with somebody, which to me is also something I've learned recently that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Before I answer the question, is intimacy the same as sex?
No. Not for me anyway. They're two different. There's two different kinds. There's emotional intimacy you can have with somebody when you're just sharing and being open and letting yourself kind of be vulnerable with that person. But that vulnerability also can translate into the bedroom when you actually have to kind of expose yourself in some sort of way, which doesn't necessarily need to be physical, but it's also sort of that emotional connection. So I do kind of view them as hand in hand or tied, because for me, it's like showing your most open self sort of thing.
Yeah. Robert, you were going to say something too?
Totally agree with her in terms of intimacy. Intimacy and sex are definitely two different things.
Okay.
So your turn.
Cool. Expectations sexually. I think it would surprise. I think it always surprises other people when I'm involved with someone that I'm not very aggressive sexually. I'm very passive, and I actually like that role of passivity. And so I guess my expectation would be that I want someone who's going to take that control, and someone who's going to be the I don't like the word aggressor. I don't like the word aggressor because it sounds, yeah, like I was like
initiator.
Initiator. There, that's right. That's it. Yeah, like someone who's gonna initiate physical, like especially at the beginning, like as comfort comes in, then yeah, it's not like I'm never gonna initiate it, but I prefer that person to initiate it. And like Robert, I like where it's just kind of like if you're out and like grab my ass, like, you know what I mean? Very, very discreetly, like, you know what I mean? Like, I like that stuff. Or just like be a little handsy, like discreetly though. Like, I don't want anybody else to know what's happening but you and me, so that it's our little secret, you know what I mean? So that part is, I love that part. I don't know about the sexy text messages to a certain extent. But I'm kind of in the middle with that one. Like, I'm not at the extreme where I just want dirty stuff coming at me when like my nieces are like hanging on my arm. Like, you know?
Yeah, your niece comes and then you open up a dick pic or something like that. It's like,
No.
But that's why, like,
not at all.
but if you're just kind of like I was at brunch the other day and like with a group of women, and then if you're getting like little text at that point, then I'd be like, okay, just know where the person is.
Yeah, exactly.
My nieces are old enough to
read. To me, you could be at a family dinner, you could be at a work function also, and you just get one of those texts that tells you, oh, you know what, can't wait till you get home tonight. I'm gonna do this to you, whatever type of thing. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, definitely.
That's your response. That's your response, right? Yeah, thumbs up.
It's just like, you know what, my day at this point in time is made. I don't care if my day at work is crappy. At this point in time, I know I'm going home to something proper. You know what I mean? And Devin, I actually want the woman to be more of the initiator. I mean, usually I'm the initiator, but I would love for a woman to be more of the initiator at that point in time. Because, I mean, I don't know, it'd be nice to see somebody who just, I feel like, you know, is, I don't know how to explain it. Somebody who's basically more into, I guess I'd say more in tune with their own sexuality.
But I don't think that's not a sign. Like, I feel like I'm very in tune with my sexuality, but that's just what I like. Yeah. You know what I mean? You like what you like. So it's interesting how like we kind of compromise on our expectations sometimes based on, I feel like for me, it's like I said, I don't want to be dominated, but I do like the initiation. And there's kind of like, it's a thin line between them, right?
Yeah.
Naomi's face is like,
I think I kind of get what you're saying. Is it like more that you want to feel like if you're attractive sexually and that this person wants to now initiate this particular action with you?
Yes.
It makes you feel more desirable. Right.
Yes.
That's the one.
That's part of it. And part of it is you have the best words, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You have the best words. But I think that's part of it. And then the other part of it is that I just had it. The other part of it is, again, I feel like I'm always doing so much in my everyday life that in this point of like pleasure is like, I just want to relax into it. I don't want to have to like think at all. That's literally what it is. I don't want to think. I just
that's part of the role reversal you were talking about earlier, in terms of just, you have so much going on, and then when you want somebody there, you want to be kind of taken care of. It's the same sort of thing. You want different things at different points in your life. I understand that too, because I like both, but at some point you just get tired of kind of being on the go, and it's nice to have someone to take care of you. And it sounds maybe old fashioned, but sometimes that's just really nice. And it's just nice to not have to worry and plan and do things. And just as but it's a shared experience, right? You take care of the other person, they take care of you, and it becomes a give and take, which is really what I'm looking for.
I thought of an expectation I actually have now. Thought of one.
Exciting.
Space.
You're gonna have to elaborate.
Yeah, like everybody's faces on this one.
I know. I wish this is one of those times where you wish that, like, in the recording, like, you could see everybody's reaction to what he said, because everybody was like, "What?"
Yeah, like
I got some questions about this one.
All right, like, okay. There are some people, both men and women, that are just like super clingy, and like they have to spend every minute of the day like either like texting you or like with you or whatever. Like, I'm someone that requires my own time and my own space. Like, actually, I used to know this couple, and they used to work together. So basically, when I thought about what they do, they sleep together at night, they wake up in the morning, they have breakfast together, they get in the car, they drive to work together, they get to work, they work on the same machine at work all day together, they have lunch together, they drive home together, they have dinner together, and then they sleep together. And I'm like, nah, like, that to me is disgusting. like wow. I could not do that. Period. Like, no, like, I have to have my own time and my own space. Like, I have to be able to say, you know what? I'm not saying like every week I go and I hang out with my boys, but like, and like, that's it. But, once in a while, I got to be able to just go and make my own moves to just go and hang out and do something on my own. It's like, I don't know.
Listening to all this, I felt some anxiety myself.
You see what I'm saying?
It was like, yo, no. Like, I was like, yo, move.
Right?
That's too much.
Now, I've actually spoken to some ladies about this, and they've said that is beautiful.
What?
Whereas I feel it was, like I said, disgusting. Now, what do you ladies feel about that? Every minute.
I guess it depends. I mean, that's not something that I would want, but from my perspective, that's not what I want. I need a little bit of me time too. But I don't need like, I don't necessarily need weekends at a time or weeks at a time, but I definitely need like my time of the day, as if I was living with somebody, is when I get home from work, don't talk to me for 2 hours. Like, it's one of those like, just
2
like
hours.
Yeah, they just unwind. I need to like watch bad TV, drink a cup of tea, and just have a little bit of silence.
Right.
Maybe not 2 hours, okay, an hour, but like,
okay.
Like.
Hilarious. That's very specific.
Well, because I don't know, like in my job, I'm on all day. Like, so I'm talking, I'm doing, and blah, 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 blah. And by the time I get home, I'm exhausted. Yeah. And I just need a little bit of just, but then after that, I'm good. And I'm good for the rest of the day. I did that for a little bit, the working together thing. It wasn't quite the, that, but I did that too. Which actually was okay for a while, but it was kind of in the beginning parts of a relationship. I don't know that I could have sustained that for years.
Listen, to me, I hooked up.
The ladies, Robert.
Yeah.
Hold up.
You're
about to talk. I won't say my piece after.
I'm just messing with you.
Oh love.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let Devin go because I also talked about them.
I've seen that, and I have friends that have like a business together and they work from home together, and they literally do like everything together, and that works for them, right? But I don't want to do everything together. Like in the my alone time, like not alone time, but my quiet time is when I first wake up. Like when I first wake up, I don't really want to talk for like the first hour. Right? Like I just kind of like, I collect my thoughts. I'll check my emails. I'll do like whatever, but I just like, I don't really want to speak. I'll like roll over and be like, good morning. That's it. And like, or be like, are you making breakfast? Do you want breakfast? Like that's literally like, it's going to be very, very basic. Like I don't want someone who's like in my face. Right.
Right.
But then there's times like, days where I'm just like, I don't want to do anything days. I was like, I'm fine if you don't want to do anything beside me, but like, we don't need to, I wanted someone, and I think that's an expectation. I want that comfort level where you can sit beside each other for like 6 hours and not speak to each other.
Right.
And
sometimes
that's okay.
That's space to me. Sometimes that's just space.
And that I can deal with. Like I'm reading, you're watching TV, or you're taking, you're on your computer or something.
Right.
But we can be side by side. But the one thing I would do is like, I would want the touch a little bit aspect. Like my baby toe might be touching your thigh. It's like, as I'm reading, right? And that to me is like, I just want to know that you're there. You're there. That's fine. We don't need to be doing the same thing. Like I had an ex-boyfriend who would be like, who'd want me to sit beside him and watch him play video games. And I was like, I'll sit beside you and read my book, but I'm not going to watch you. And he'd get upset if I was reading my book. Well, I'd be like,
he wants you to cheer him on, and whenever he's like killing something or whatever,
like you like got that guy.
Call of Duty. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I don't care.
Like, did you see how I killed this guy? You saw I killed him?
Right. Like I feel like you can talk to me. I'm in a situation where someone's playing and I'm just like, you could tell me, but like, oh, I just did this. I'll be like, good job, babe. Like back to my book.
Oh
like,
my God.
Yeah, like I'm okay
God.
with a lot of time together, just as long as it's like I don't have to be like engaged constantly. Do you know what I mean? And that's enough space for me. It's like it's not the time, it's like the engagement aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. Like there are people that like during that time where you're just quiet, like that have to be like, oh, so are you okay? Or having a conversation with you, like let's say you were studying, you wanted to study something, and like at the same time, like the other person sitting down and like maybe watching Netflix on like an iPad or something like that, and the two of you are beside each other. There's people that have to engage with you during that time where it's just kind of like, you know what? I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing. We're still together, but we're not like doing the same things. I mean, I look at it like this. There's couples that have lived together for like 60, 70 years or whatever. They're not always like chatting with each other. Sometimes it's beautiful to just sit there silently and do the dishes together, period.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I've hooked up with some girls
Well, you froze.
at work and it never turned into a relationship. What?
You froze.
Outside. I froze. Okay, my bad. No, I was just saying, I hooked up with some girls at work. Well, not this job, but previous jobs. And to be honest, I mean, like, just the idea of just having them around, like, you know, at work and then outside of work and all of that, it was just like, no, it could not turn into a relationship because it was just, like you said, space was required. But yeah, no, I couldn't do it. Could never do it.
Cool.
It's just the idea of it. Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps. This is too much.
You guys were all shocked when I said space.
Well, I
know.
Go away for a while for a long time.
No.
Sitting in silence and doing your own thing. That's a different kind of thing. It's like, get away from me, Ma.
That's Simon all the time.
Oh boy, nah, this was the
You
face
know
was a
what's
good.
funny is that Naomi, you said when you said meh, and Simon laughed, and I was like, Naomi's actually the person who got me saying meh. Like she's like perfected it in her meh. Like how I say it is because of Naomi. And when Simon says it, it makes me laugh because I was like, meh.
I got a question for y'all.
Sure.
In regards to expectations. Now, we all have some TV. We all watch some TV shows or anything like that. I mean, now, is it important for you to have like, the same like, taste in terms of, TV programming and everything, like, or even like Netflix shows that you be watching? Because then at this point in time, is whose turn is it to actually watch TV because the other person doesn't want to watch what you're watching, that type of thing, if you're not compatible there?
I think so. Like, I dated a guy very shortly who didn't watch movies, and I was like, "What?" Like, I love movies. Like, I watch everything, and I think my most recent best relationship was someone who watched movies as much as I did, and so like that was like our engagement. So yes to that. And then even like, I can't date a guy who doesn't watch TV at all. It's too much like I feel like it's a personality type that is like, I don't watch TV. And that's like a bragging right. I was like, that's not my guy.
Yeah. Naomi?
Yeah, I think for me, this is a tough one. I used to think it had to be like all compatible interests, like not only watching TV, but the same types of shows and blah, blah, blah. And that used to be something that really bugged me, that if they didn't watch the same types of things that I watch, but I watch weird stuff, so that's almost impossible.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Totally. So
that show was awesome.
It was awesome.
I like Angel
like
better.
To admit, but yeah.
No,
like, I have the whole complete series of Angel.
Too.
Yes, it's awesome.
It's awesome.
Anyways,
Robert, can you stop eating Robert? Like, wow.
I'm sorry. No, I just don't care for no vampire shows. That's all.
I don't know. I have a little bit of like rose-colored goggles on this about like right now because I met someone a while ago who we have completely different like interests in terms of movies and music and TV shows. And that used to be something that used to kind of grind me the wrong way. But now it's kind of like, well, maybe I should just be open to some of these things and like look at it as an opportunity to do different things. Okay, you still have to be true to yourself, and you can't just say you're going to take on what everyone else is doing. But for me, it's not a deal breaker if it's with the right person and it can be interesting and they can defend why they're doing it. Then it was kind of just a conversation like anything else. But yeah, in terms of, you want to, just in terms of the activity, of course you want to be able to, like, if someone's never going to watch TV with you or never going to go to a concert with you or never going to, go to a movie,
basketball game,
that would be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it is important. You guys agree?
I think it's Robert, you first, I guess.
No, you go first. That's the question. I'll go last.
All right. I feel that it's important, but not entirely important. It's not it can be a deal breaker, but it kind of depends on how the person actually takes it. Like Devin was saying, if it's somebody that doesn't read book, doesn't go to movies, or doesn't watch TV, and that, like, that's their pride or whatever, they take pride in that, and they kind of look down on you because that's what you do, that's not going to work. Mm-hmm. But if it's like, somebody that doesn't really have an interest watching movies or watching TV, maybe that's my time for my space, my me time, that I basically go and I watch my TV, and, maybe I can talk to her about it after, or, maybe she doesn't enjoy going to basketball games. That would be absolutely crazy. She would be nuts. And I don't know, that could really work. Maybe that's the time that I go and I hang out with my friends, right? Maybe I'll go to do that, right? But it's that brings up another thing to me, balance, right? Like, even with the space thing and all that, to me, there has to be like this total balance in that. What I find is that some people, they feel like they found this person and they're dating them and they're getting really, really close to that person, and they kind of abandon everybody else that's been in their lives.
Oh, it's the worst.
Exactly. And to me, it's like, nah, these people were here from before, I was there, or vice versa. And, they're there for a reason. So to me, like, that's part of the reason why I kind of have that whole idea of space. Like, I do believe that, yes, with a girl, she should be able to come out and hang out with me and my friends or whatever and so on. But sometimes it's just going to be me and my boys. And that's the balance that's there. And that's the space that's there that I'm talking about.
Well, with regards to me, and I'm referring back again to that best relationship I've ever had.
Whatever happened to that girl?
What happened to that girl is that we were, you know what? I learned a lot from her and everything like that, but we were not in the same place and time during that point.
Did you cheat on her?
No, I did not cheat on her. And I do remember having that conversation with both of y'all, and I do remember telling both of y'all that I did not cheat on her. So, whatever.
There's three of us here. Both
my bad. But I'm talking about the two regular.
But this was a previous conversation we had.
Yeah, with the two regular.
Pre-Naomi.
Yeah, I don't know any about
No, but yeah, so she was watching some shows. She had some shows that she was watching, and I had some shows that I was watching. And like, she put me onto some of the programming that she had. So I got interested in some of the stuff that she was watching, and I got her interested in some of the stuff that I was watching. And at this point in time now, new interests were created from that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm always open-minded to certain things, to these things when it comes to you programming, but otherwise, I mean, I'm like basketball, like Simon says. I mean, I watch basketball. She hated watching basketball completely. She would go.
That's what broke it up. That's what broke up the relationship.
Don't break up the relationship.
I love how passionate you are about this. It's like, what? You don't watch basketball? I don't understand. Oh.
Actually, how about this, Simon? Like, you have the perfect woman. Like, everything's perfect, but she's not a basketball fan. She's a hockey fan, and she loves the Leafs. And I'm talking about, like, face painting, shirts, and everything. Like, that's the one thing.
Wait. Does she not like basketball, or does she hate basketball?
You know what? For the sake of this conversation, I will say she hates it.
She hates it?
She hates basketball, but she loves hockey. And I'm talking about like I said, face painting, hats, shirts, pants.
It's not gonna work. No, it's just not gonna work. Like, no, I mean, I'll go to hockey games or whatever. I'll try it. I really do want to go to a hockey game. I've never been to a hockey game, like an NHL hockey game. I've been to a hockey game, just not an NHL hockey. But like, I mean, I want to go to pretty much every sport and check it out. I've been to rugby, lacrosse, boxing, obviously basketball, baseball. I've been to a bunch of different sports, but I do want to try to go to a hockey game. And but if she hates basketball, I don't think she's for me. Like,
no, everything else is like in line with what you want. Everything else is in line with what you want. It's just that particular one part there.
I mean, see, when we talk hate, I'm coming to a level of look, I'm being serious. Like,
we know.
When we talk hate, it's like we've got something like when I say I hate something, I mean I can't stand it. Like, to me, I won't watch reality TV shows. Period. Like, I don't do it. I've tried it and I don't like it, and I'm not gonna do it again. Love and hip hop.
But go on.
Well, whatever. So anyways, reality TV shows, they rub me the wrong way. And like, if I guess like somebody that's what they're going to talk about all the time, like I talk about basketball all the time, it kind of can draw some negative feelings, because if she hates it, she's going to be like, why you always talk about basketball? I don't want to hear about basketball, blah, 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 blah. Like that type of thing. If she just dislikes it, I can work with that. But hate? Nah, I don't think so.
Today's actually the first time I've ever heard you talk about basketball. Just saying.
It's true.
I was like, I didn't know you liked basketball like that. Like I was like, no.
I can talk basketball for hours.
All right, now I know. Okay, so I have a big question for everybody.
Go ahead.
I think it's kind of like deal breakery, because we were talking about that, and that's where this came from. So, do you expect, so we're talking about morals and like where you align. What about, say, political / so let's say political, religious, social, all of that. Like,
what about the second place?
Like, does that person have to be on the same side? So I am liberal, I am non-religious, and so like do I have to date someone? I'm asking you guys for this example. Do you have to date somebody that aligns with those things? This is a big one. I know.
I will say this. She cannot be in the sunken place, as far as I'm concerned. No, she can't.
If she's dating you, then she's not in the sunken place.
You don't know that. Yes. Unless, too. So I mean, I'm just saying.
It's from the movie Get Out.
Get Out.
Okay.
Yeah. So the sunken place is hypnotized, pretty much.
Okay. No, I haven't seen it.
But what's the sunken place in this aspect, Robert? What do you mean?
Well, basically, someone who's a racist apologist, for example. I would not want to be with someone. I would not want that. Definitely not. I don't find somebody who takes who can actually go ahead and bash her own race just for the sake of making a point all the time. I mean, I can't. I've seen so many like, especially on social media, so many men or women just going around talking about, oh, black people are this way, or black women are this way, black men are this way, and that's why I date outside my race. I'm like, if you don't date outside your race because you're attracted to the person that you're dating, but because you have a problem with the people in your own race, I mean, you're an idiot. I'm not for that. And in terms of, political views, I mean, I always said that, I mean, until I have a problem with the current government, I am not. I would not be voting. And last year was not last year, but last election was the first time I actually voted because I had a problem with Stephen Harper. So that's where my political views basically stand in terms of, if I have a problem with the current state of affairs, I'm done with it.
So if she's a conservative, Harper fan.
I don't care. If she's a conservative Harper fan.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have a conversation where I gotta hear your viewpoints as to why you are a Harper fan. I want to know why. I mean, you gotta let me know, like, what it is about Harper that makes you say, hey, yes, that's why I'm supporting him, type of thing. Okay. If I'm okay with, I mean, if it makes sense, sure, all right, go ahead, go about your business. If it's just like. For example, right now, if she says she's a Trump fan, I'd be like, no, I'm not for it.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, on this, I got to step out a little early today, but for this one, for me personally, it's Yeah, religious. I would like her to be a Christian. In terms of political, I don't really consider myself that political because I sway from conservative and liberal. Like, I don't really have a tie to either side. So personally, and when I say I don't have a side, I sway to either side, it's like I don't entirely agree with all the values of either side. So I kind of can't claim either one. So political, I don't want her to be absolutely liberal, but I don't want her to be absolutely conservative. I'd like her to be kind of similar to me. We may have a couple differences, but for the most part, don't really know.
Naomi?
Yeah, this is a big one for me. In today's political climate, there's no way I can say that this is a non-issue for me. Like, I'm hardcore women's issues and feminist to the core. So if that's not something that the person embraces, that's just not going to work, because that's just kind of fundamentally who I am every single day. So that would be definitely an issue that would be a deal breaker. Religious, not so much. I'm a little bit more open to all kinds of religions and that type of openness. I'm not religious, so it doesn't really matter to me one way or the other. Politics, I'm the same way, kind of, Robert, what you said. If you can explain to me why and give me good arguments and we can have debates and conversations about it, hey, why not? But there's some fundamental things that I do believe in my life, and if the person doesn't agree with that, I just don't see how you can go forward, because at some point those political views are going to determine the decisions that you make in life, and then you will be at a crossroads at that point. So just to kind of, so for me, those are definitely women's issues, race issues, politics right now, like Trump. I'm sorry, that's kind of a deal breaker today.
I think I'm the same. And it's hard to say until you're in certain situations, right? I'll say this now, but then I'll end up in a situation and I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm going to let this go for now. Like, there's always a gray area, right? With all of our expectations. But for me, politically, okay, yeah, if they're just like, I'm for Trump and yeah, okay, yeah. But if they were like for Harper, I'd be like, okay, what do you like about Harper? You know what I mean? It would be more of a conversation versus Trump. I think I'd just kind of be like, I don't even know if I want to have a conversation. So it has levels to it, right? Like, I don't expect everyone to be like at the exact level that I'm at, but it's like women's rights to me is a big thing. I always say, like, when people are like, are you a feminist? I'm like, no, I'm a Devonist. As you know, when you come to the Church of Devon.
Devonism.
Right? So I think we lost Simon, just so everybody knows, if anybody's wondering where he is. I know he was having battery problems, so his laptop probably died. But anyways. And when I say I'm a Devonist, I believe in Devonism, it's not an ego thing. It's actually just a matter of, I just want to be, I believe in everything that equates to that. So I believe in Black women's rights. I believe in women's rights. I believe in Black rights, all equally, right? Like, it's anything that affects me directly, of course I'm going to believe in it, right? But there are also other things that I also believe in, right? I also believe in sexual rights. I also believe in, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't just stop there. So, it's just like, I need someone who is open-minded. I need somebody who is, even if we don't believe the same things, I need someone who's going to be able to talk about our differences. Yeah. And I think that, to me, is the most important thing. Someone who's open to actually have a discussion and, like, agree to disagree versus it being volatile.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. This is of my last experience, what has marked me the most is that ability to discuss anything and everything. And every time I would have these conversations before with someone I was in a relationship with, I could tell it stressed them out. I could tell that they didn't want to have a conversation. They just automatically thought that because we were together, we needed to agree. No, that's boring. Like, I mean,
That is one, yeah.
and you know, I met someone who we can have these conversations with, and largely the truth is we do agree, but we actually have fun putting like our, you know, devil's advocate cap on and pushing and pushing and pushing to make sure that we actually have fundamental arguments to why we think the way we think.
Yeah.
And that is what I found to be so interesting, to have that kind of discussion with somebody. And you don't always have to agree, because you're in a relationship doesn't mean you have to be the same person. It just means you have to respect the other person.
Very true.
And it comes back to what Simon said about respect, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like how it came full circle. Yay! All right. So I think that ended up really, I like how it ended. So I'm going to turn it over to some good news. Good news. We got that good news. Okay, so good news this week is we have in CBC News reported that there was 300 teenage boys standing up and finding inspiration at the TDSB conference. So TDSB is what does it stand for? Toronto School something.
District School Board something?
Yeah, I mixed up the letters. Yeah, so more than 300 teenage boys from across Toronto came together to take part in the annual Stand Up, Redefining the Color of Success conference. And they had, it was hosted by Dwight Drummond. Ooh, I like that, Dwight Drummond. He's a very nice man. We used to go to the same gym. Very pleasant. Yeah, so it's really great news to see everyone coming together. The Ontario Supreme Court Justice Donald McLeod was there, and they were mentoring the boys, and just everybody was just sharing. I've seen quite a few videos and articles coming from that, and it was just like a lovely annual thing for like boys of color to come together and be able to speak, right, and find their voice and feel like they actually have a voice to be heard. Because Simon and I were talking recently about how we should do a show on how our boys are kind of being silenced to a certain extent with all the girl power movements that are going on, that our young boys are kind of getting left behind. So it's really great to see that we're having events like this.
Especially at such a young age. I mean, I do believe that you just, what?
Sorry, you froze for half a second. I was like,
okay.
Not another one.
No, I'm good. I'm here.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, I mean, like, at such a young age, I do believe that, you know, it's definitely something positive like that to happen for them. It will be long lasting for them. You know what I mean? It will help in their core development. So it's definitely something that I do believe it's an awesome event for them. Yeah.
Cool. Yay! So, Robert, do you have any events going on?
Yeah, Mr. Dwayne Morgan is coming up with for members only.
Woo!
That's on May 17th. That's at Lula Lounge. It's for members only. That's the erotica show that he has. If anybody has ever gone to it, I mean, I'm heading to it. And I just realized something, because last year I went and I was on stage. Like he asked for volunteers to come in, and I got on stage.
Of course you did.
And 3 various women from the audience had to cater to me and everything, which was pretty awesome. But I just realized something. If you check Dwayne Morgan's website, the flyer, that's me. Okay?
Hilarious.
That is me on the Dwayne Morgan website. So as far as I'm concerned, I thought, you know what? First of all, I'm gonna talk to Dwayne, see about, you know, maybe getting some money for that.
I'm on the cover of one of Dwayne Morgan's books, and I got no money.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But May 17th, Lula Lounge, that's 1585 Dundas West. It's from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Tickets are, I believe they're from $25 to $35. I recommend getting it. It's an amazing show.
It always sells out.
Sexy. It's one of the sexiest shows it's amazing, definitely.
Yeah.
Another event, it's called Another One. And that one is it's hosted by Athea Walsh. She hosts the At My City fashion show, the yearly At My City fashion show, and they're on their fifth anniversary, on their 5th year right now doing it. So she has an event at Cake Bar and Nightclub at 214 Adelaide Street West in Toronto on Saturday, May 20th from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. the next day. So again, that's a pretty cool event. I will be there also, just supporting. Speaking of support, today I am wearing this shirt.
Yay!
It's a good one.
Yes, this is from Dope Tees Design here in Toronto. So, like I said, I stand true to this promise. I will display everybody that's doing some designs. You know, if you got clothing and everything like that, I'll be wearing it on the show every time.
Send Robert t-shirts.
Yes, yes.
Hilarious. This has been another great episode. Yay. Thanks, Naomi, for joining us.
No problem.
Had a international guest, our first international guest. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, and at all of 5 minutes notice. It was fantastic. It worked out.
Tell our secrets.
Oh, sorry. I mean, yes, I prepped for weeks.
Prepped for weeks. Yeah, it was there since 2016. We had it in mind.
I know. But I was like, I think that's what I like about our show. It is very just off the cuff. It's everything. It's just really about conversation, real conversations, real people, just being honest.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah. All right.
So, well, basically, this was a great show, great expectation. And on that note, I am your favorite author, Robert Mulolo, signing off.
And I am Devin M.D. Jones signing off, and I will sign off for Simon, not Jack. And thank you again to Naomi for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was really fun.
Yay! Right. What time is it there?
8:15 in the evening.
Okay. So, yeah. It's 2.
Make myself some dinner.
Yeah, it's 2:00 here. I'll make myself some lunch. Bye. All right. Thanks for joining us. See you on the next Great Black North.
Bye. Peace.
Bye.